This contraption is called the mat cutter, and a mat is a frame for your photograph. So it looks like this when it's all put together. The first thing that you do is cut a piece of mat board to the size that you need. So they're in big pieces like this. For an 8x10 photo like this one, you're going to need a mat that is 10 by 12. So I need to measure and then cut this piece into a 10 by 12. And down here on the mat cutter there is a long ruler, and that's what you can use to measure. Okay, so from this middle silver bar here, I can measure what the length is, and it looks like this is 15 by really long. So first what I'm going to do is cut this to 10. Okay, so I'm going to line up the mat board with the 10 on the ruler. I've picked up this bar and now I'm going to put it back down. Okay, just like that. Now to cut the mat board, you're going to use the right side of the blade. There's two blades on here. One is for cutting the window, that's the left side, and the right side is for cutting just the large pieces. So I'm going to slide this all the way up, and I'm going to press this down, and it's going to click and lock into place. And then what I'm going to do is press down and drag this all the way across to cut the piece of mat board. And you do have to press really hard as you go. Okay, and I've cut across. Now watch your fingers because there is a blade underneath there. When you're finished, you're going to pull this pin out and lift it back up so the blade isn't dragging. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it the other way. So this is 10 right now, and I'm going to cut the other side to 12. So if I line it up, I've got 15. Okay, so 12 is right there. Line it up, put it underneath the bar, click the blade down into place, pull it across, and pull the pin back up so the blade isn't dragging. Okay, so here's my mat board. That's what I'm going to do to make my mat. Okay, so now the next step is to make some measurements in order to cut the window of the mat. Because the mat board itself is this right here, and then now I'm going to have to cut the window out of it. Okay, so on the side here there's another silver bar, and if you twist these knobs you can adjust this bar. And there's also another ruler on this side, and I'm going to set this for 1.5 inches. So there's a green line, I'm going to line it up and tighten the knobs. So this area right here now, this distance of 1.5 inches, represents how wide the mat frame is going to be all the way around. Okay, so I'm going to flip my mat over, make sure the blade is out of the way, we don't need that right now. Pick it up and slide it against the silver bar and then close it. Okay, so I'm going to make a line all the way across, pick it up, rotate it, and do this to all 4 sides. Okay, so now I have my mat with all the lines, and this is the area that I'm going to be cutting out. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use the other side of the blade, the left side, and you're going to keep your mat against the silver part, lining up with the line. And I'm going to slide this down, make sure that this isn't dragging again. I'm going to be using the right side. Now, on this blade, there is this little black tab thing that pokes out, and there's 2 heights, and the heights are different on the tab by the little colored dots. So there's a red dot and there's a green dot. So just like on a traffic light, green means go and red means stop. So I'm going to first line up the green dot with this line that goes across, and I'm going to press in the blade and drag across until the red dot lines up with the second line. Excuse me. Slide this up, and I'm gonna repeat on all sides. Line up with the green dot, press in, drag across to the red dot. You do have to press considerably hard. You have to really make sure that it cuts through. If you're pressing really hard and then the window is starting to cut kind of shaggy, we might need a blade change. So let me know if that happens. Otherwise, you might just not be pressing hard enough. Okay. So now the window comes out and we have a mat. Okay, so this is how to make a mat. This other piece we can put back on the mat board shelf. Somebody could use this for a 5x7. And the last step to matting your photo is to use masking tape to tape on the back so that your photo stays inside of it.